Hey folks, what's going on? I got a little video that I thought about that came up on a guide trip that I had this recent week. We were talking about swim baits, and you know, swim baits have become really popular in the last, I don't know, I think it's kind of peaked. They've been around a long time. You know, back when I was a kid, we had the Sassy Shad and a few other little things, but they really maximized the potential of swim baits. That's to like one of the most used little soft plastics outside of you know, just like a soft plastic worm. But I'm going to show you about 7 or 8 different ways that you can use a soft plastic swim bait. And what you'll start to notice is it's very arguably one of the most important baits that you'll have in your boat is a soft plastic swim bait. So many different ways to use it. So before we go do that, look at swim baits, I just got an email that my new mystery tackle box for the month is here. Listen, check the description box, you'll see a link for a coupon code. You can get $10 off your box to Mystery Tackle Box, your first box. Mystery Tackle Box also has a YouTube channel, so every bait that you get in your box every month, all the baits that you get in your box, they have a YouTube channel where they have a bunch of videos talking about how to use the baits that are in your box. There's a bunch of videos that you guys can look on Mystery Tackle Box's YouTube channel and see exactly how to use a spinnerbait, or how to use a umbrella rig or a jig or whatever you get in your box. You said, yeah? Do you watch Mystery Tackle Box's YouTube?
I think I have.
But anyway, make sure you check that out. Use the coupon code in the description box. Let's check out, see what's in this box. All right, Brett. What's in this box?
Oh my gosh.
What's in it? What is it? A sticker. You probably want that sticker. Put that on your motorcycle. Okay, cool. Oh, dude, they got a whopper flopper. That's a whopper flopper. It's really a whopper flopper. Don't say that. What is it? What? Hold it back so we can see it.
It's like
soft plastics.
It's like,
yeah. Smart baits. So we got some smart baits, stick
it's,
baits. What's this? Stickies. Finely crafted hooks. Oh, so you guys got some trailer hooks in there, like if you got a spinnerbait. Oh, see, that's what I like about it. That's what I like about Mystery Tackle Box. They sent you a spinnerbait, Catchco spinnerbait.
and
Most important part is they send you a trailer hook to go with it, which is very important when you're throwing a spinnerbait. Always use a trailer hook. All right, what we got here? Bass Dynasty. I like that name.
I like how they like made it with like glitter and stuff. It's cool. We've had these before.
Swim baits. Oh, so this video is actually about swim baits, and we got a bag of swim baits. So look.
We've had these before.
Yeah, we use those. We use those swim baits.
We use these a lot.
Right. What's next?
Crankbait.
Yeah, crankbait. Got a crankbait. That looks like a little lipless crankbait, and we got more hooks.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, that's a lot of tackle, that you get that you never have to go shopping for. Send it automatically to your house. All you gotta do is take this box out. You don't even have to grab a tackle box if you're going fishing. Grab this box, get a rod reel, take off and go. So while he breaks into this, we're gonna look at swim baits. I'm gonna start break down swim baits and talk about the 19 million ways that you can fish a swim bait. I'm gonna talk a little bit about swim baits and talk about a little bit about why they're so effective, why it just seems like to be a bait that you got to have a bunch of different styles of, and I just think it's a good plastic to have a bunch of in your boat. Straight tail worms, swim baits, make sure you always got them. I don't care where you go, whether it's Florida, South Carolina, New York, Oklahoma, have them all in your boat. So I'm going to show you, I got 7 or 8 little ways, and I'm going to show you that you can use a swim bait, and then you'll start to understand why they're so important. Why does a swim bait work so good? Swim baits are very lifelike. Very lifelike. They always look exactly like a shad. They always, they just swim like a bait fish swims. They swim like what bass eat. The other thing is, there's a lot of different colors, there's a lot of different sizes, and you can work them all the way from top to the bottom. Anything that has all those characteristics are always going to be a bait that's in high rotation in your tackle box. So let's look at them. So you can see right out here, right off the jump, you know, when you talk about swim baits, a lot of times people think just traditional jig head and a swim bait. You know, jig head, plastic, that's one way, but look, I got him on a Swim Jig, I got him on a ChatterBait, I'm going on a Spinnerbait. Brev's got one out here that's throwing. I've got him on a Keel weight, I've got him on a Jig Head, and I've even got him on a drop shot. I want to talk, so let's talk about a little bit about why all those different ways to rig one is unique. You got to have it. You should be familiar with all of those. So let's look at this. Well, I'll kind of walk you through why swim baits work good on all of these different presentations. Well, let's look at the Swim Jig here. You know, Swim Jig, there's a couple different style trailers that I like to use for a Swim Jig, and you know, I throw a swim bait sometimes. Sometimes I throw like a cross style trailer, and the reason a lot of times that I throw a swim bait trailer is it comes through the structure a little bit better. It's a little bit more streamlined, and if I want to get it down in the water column a little bit, if I'm fishing hydrilla a little bit deeper, I'm probably going to use a swim bait over a crawl if I need to keep something up high, or if I want to work something slow or want more resistance. I'll use something that's a little bit more bulky. But swim bait on the back of a swim jig, that's one way you can use it. Here's a second way you can use a swim bait. You guys, you can always use it as a ChatterBait trailer. ChatterBait trailer, that's probably my go-to right there. That's a Z-Man Diesel Minnows. That's a baby bass, I think is the color of this original ChatterBait, or ChatterBait Elite. I've got a Houdini colored Diesel Minnows on here. Now, this is something that's really important about when you're talking about jigs, spinner baits, and you know, swim jigs, chatterbaits. I actually only carry about 3 different colors of chatterbaits, swim jigs, and spinner baits in my tackle box. And if I need something a little brighter, if I need something a little clearer, then I actually just change the swim bait trailers. So that makes swim baits that much more important in my boat, because not only are there good ways to control the buoyancy of my baits, my spinner baits, chatterbaits, and so on, change my spinner bait or my chatterbait, make it go deeper or shallower, make it go slower or faster, but it's also a great way to get different colors out of your baits. You can see I can make that look like a brim, I can make it look like a shad. I only carry like black, I'll carry something shad, something green, or all 3 of those mixed together, and then I'll change my trailer colors to get whatever I want. So having a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different sizes, that allows me to save a little bit of money, because jigs, spinner baits, chatterbaits, they're way more expensive than swim baits are. So keeping those in my boat makes my simplifies my tackle, and it just makes me a little bit more versatile at the same time. Now, you see I got one on a spinnerbait here. Why would I use a swim bait on the back of a spinnerbait? Well, the number one reason that I like to use a spinnerbait, a swim bait on a spinnerbait, is I can control the buoyancy of my spinnerbait. If I want to keep that bait up high, I can just kind of put something bigger on there with more resistance, keep that bait, work it real slow, and bring it back to the boat. Also, but this is something that a lot of people don't really think about. When I'm fishing extremely muddy water, I'm fishing extremely deep water, having that little boot tail on there, that moves a little extra water. If it's dark water, dark situations, fishing a little deeper, the fish has got to be able to find your bait, and having a little bit more movement on that bait, that makes it easier for that fish to bite, to find it. In turn means you have more drawing power. So there's a lot of different, a lot of advantages to running a swim bait on the back of a spinner bait. You got buoyancy, you got drawing power, you got a little different action. It's just a win-win when you're using swim bait on spinner bait. Alright, so this next way is probably one of the most common ways and the most used when you're talking about throwing the swim bait. You know, miniature swim baits are kind of really popular. I use them a lot here at home. 3-inch, 2.5, 3-inch, 4-inch swim baits. That's probably the most popular section. In my opinion, that's the tournament grade swim baits, is the 3 to 6-inch swim baits. I think that's your tournament grade swim baits. A lot, you know, big 7, 8, 9, 10-inch swim baits are real popular, but I think this is where you're going to make your money at, from 3 to 6 inches. And swim bait and a jig head. Soft plastic and jig head is the most popular way to fish it. There's nothing special about it. It's nothing complicated. This is a 3/16 ounce owner jig head, and I'm just using it with a 3-inch minnows, Z-Man minnows. Throw this deal on a spinning rod. I catch so many spotted bass here at home from the summer all the way until the fall. It's just a great combination, and you can use that on even some of these bigger swim baits like that I have here. This is the Z-Man 6-inch swimmers. You can use like a ½ ounce to 1 ounce, and a bigger 6-inch swim bait, all the way from the 4-inch diesel minnows to the one like what I have here. That's one of those deals that just works. It's always going to be a game player, no matter what the situation is. Now, you know, when you're talking about swim baits, also it's a great bait to use when you're talking about fishing around lily pads, fishing around visible structure, laydowns, docks, and so forth. And one of the easiest ways to skip a swim bait under dock, under hanging trees, or bringing it through extremely heavy structure is fishing it on a keel weight. And this is a 6-inch swimmers that I've rigged with a screw lock. I'll show you guys how to rig one with a screw lock here in just a second. And this bait, you can put it in a lot of places that, you know, fish don't normally see a swim bait. What I've got here, this is I want to say, let me see if I found the package. This is a 10-aught owner beast hook, and I think it's got a ½ ounce keel weight in it, and that's a 6-inch swimmers. I can fish this bait on a jig head. I fish it on a keel weight. I can swim it through lily pads around the canes when I'm down in Florida. I can use it just about anywhere. So you can adjust that weight. You know, this is a ½ ounce, so obviously this is a bigger swim bait, so you need a little bit more weight to keep the bait down. But you can adjust that accordingly depending on where you fish. But that's just a great way. You know, being that this bait is keel weighted, I can also kind of buzz it on top, sort of like a swim bait or like a buzz bait. I can use it on top. I can let it sink down. I can bring it by lily pads really fast, and if I see a fish boil on it, kind of let it sink down, and a lot of times that's when you'll get the bite. So keel weighted swim bait, that's a great way to fish a swim bait in extremely heavy cover. You can see it's weedless, hook point's not exposed. I can throw it a long way, cover a lot of water. That's a great way to fish a swim bait in heavy cover. One last way that I'm going to show you guys how I've used a swim bait, and this is one of the ones that when I first saw it, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way. Like, no, that's not how to use a swim bait. But a drop shot. You can see I got just your standard drop shot, just like what everybody else would have. And then I just got a #1 owner mosquito with a little, this is a Z-Man Slim Swims. That's all that is, on a #1 owner mosquito hook. So fishing it on a drop shot, that's a great way. Up north I've caught some smallmouth fishing it like that. Haven't caught quite as many spotted bass here at home, but it's a great way to fish a swim bait down deep, 15-20 foot deep, and you can just fish it just like you would a normal soft plastic, but it works really good anywhere you have current. I've caught them on St. Clair fishing little small swim baits like that, little 2.5 3-inch swim baits on a drop shot. It's a great way anytime you got like that little short grass that's like 8-10 inches off the bottom. It's not a better way to trick those little brown smallmouth and it's chomping on your drop shot. So definitely try that out. When they're feeding on shad, they're feeding on little gobies, feeding on any kind of little deal that's really close to the bottom but moves really slow like gobies do. A swim bait is a great way to catch them, especially on a drop shot. Something they don't normally see. I hope this helps you out. Swim baits are a soft plastic that you need to have a lot of. There's a lot of different styles and colors and sizes out there. You need every single one of them. Matter of fact, in the comment section here below, let me know if there's a bunch of different ways that I didn't talk about because I didn't think I could squeeze them in this one video. But I'm sure a lot of the people watching these videos would love to know how you like to fish your swim baits. So if there's something I didn't cover in here, comment about it in the description box, and I'd appreciate it. I'm interested in checking it out. I love learning new ways to catch bass and trick these little things into biting. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to Mystery Tackle Box. Use my coupon code. Get the $10 off, dude. Why not? And you'll get a box of tackle every month in the mail. So we're out. We're gonna go and see if we can catch some fish
Yeah.
on the baits that we got in our box. So we're out of here.